Greetings, everyone. My name is Gerard, editor-in-chief of SGIB magazine. That stands for Soldiers Got Intentions to Believe That, because everyone should be soldiering for something. A dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, something. It's considered hip-hop, urban, raw, the truth, a photographer's magazine. Hip-hop because it recognizes the dominating force in music. I remember when I was in prison in 1998, a year before I got out, when hip-hop had passed country and western music as being the #1 genre in America or in the world. I'm sweating because I don't use the air. I got 3 bedrooms. I use the fans, and the fans are off right now. So that's why I'm sweating a little bit, so understand that. Okay, urban because it's another product manifested from the streets. Raw because I'm not going to spend a lot of money airbrushing pictures or what have you like that, put it in the magazine. Is what you see is what you get. The truth is honoring the late Vonney Hilton Sweeney, who was the founder of the Pre-Grammy Party. She was also founder of the Mr. James Brown's Truth Awards that was handed out each year for artists who had tremendous accomplishments. And also she was editor-in-chief of Mr. Brown's magazine newsletter called The Truth, which I was the East Coast, let me see if it makes noise, okay, which I was the East Coast representative of that magazine. And a photographer's magazine, because that's simply who I am. I am a photographer who's outgrown his box. And owner of PPG's Productions, that stands for Photos by Gerard, the best in freelance publicity photography. You know, I woke up last night maybe about 10 o'clock or so, and I've been in my zone ever since then. And I started playing on my computer. You know, I thought I want to post stuff. So I was happening to looking at my SGIB mag on TV / the G-Spot station. And I realized that I never put a profile, anything about myself or anything like that. So I said, wow. You know, and that just goes to show you about how much I, not so much don't know, but how much I, feel it's important, or I don't know what the terminology is, but I just found it. So I'm writing something that I want to share with you. You know, because it asks me what type of business I'm in, or I forgot the first question. But I'm going to share this with you. Let me see what the first question is. Is that hard to find? And I listen to music. Here it is. The first question is, where do you work? Now, I'm not a simple person, and I always tend to elaborate more. But you know what? This whole thing about this social media and why I do it is not necessarily for your benefit. It's for my 2 daughters, who, in my opinion, have never really wanted to take the time to know me of my life. And I think the reason being because the mother wanted me to promise them that I would never tell them the truth about our beginning relationship. And I told her that if they ever came to me, I would. So I think that was probably one of the reasons why she made sure that they never got close enough to me to want to know anything about me. I was always a villain, I guess, whatever. Because I'm not the first father who's been addicted to drugs. I'm not the first father who has been in jail. I'm not the first father who's lived on the East Coast and chilled on the West Coast. So there's really no reason, especially as important as I have been in their lives to them, throughout their lives. I remember my youngest daughter giving me a Father's Day card. And about a year or so, I was in my safe deposit box, and I saw it, so I finally decided to open it. And I opened it, and tears came to my eyes because it had said that I want to thank you for allowing us to meet their grandmother, because they're from a white mother and they're from Portland, Oregon, so that wasn't going to come to New York, and making sure that they can meet you. And also, she apologized for giving me such a hard time throughout her life, and it brought tears to my eyes. So anyway, I mean, for them not wanting to know me or discuss whatever, I mean, I never abused them. I watch these shows where a father has abused their daughter sexually or physically or whatever, and the daughter forgives them, and I just can't for the life of me find out why they can't forgive me and wanting to know me. But anyway, the reason I say all that, because I put this on for them, so they can see my thoughts and understand how much I think about them all the time. All the time. Look at this song. Not anybody but us. This is Russian. It never, it always bothered me that they did. So I put this on there, and I told the truth about what I'm going through. You just happen to be fortunate enough to see it, because I do have a story to tell. So anyway, so the first question was, what kind of work did I do? So I'm going to share this, what I wrote while in my zone. Okay. Little baby, close your eyes. I love this song. Okay. I've learned to appreciate music no matter what it is. And one of the reasons being is that I look at it like this. If an artist, a person took the time, I remember I was with the ISO Art Council, and we were the only organization that hosted the New York Philharmonic on Long Island. So being a board member, I got a chance to meet the artists, so I started interviewing them. And I always asked them the question, what made them want to get into music? And all of them had said, my mother made me do it. Said my mother made me do it. And it wasn't until they got into high school that they realized that being a musician or learning music, that it gave them a social outlet. Girls, guys, or whatever. And then they took more to it. But then to learn an instrument or talent and go public, and then recognizing or being appreciated for what they did, you know what I'm saying? And I look at that when I look at an artist, no matter what music it is, no matter what genre it is. I look at that because that's an important thing, because you can't take away what they took upon themselves to learn and be good at. Okay, so this is what I wrote, and this is mostly, listen. It said, I just found this, just like I told you, I just found this. It says, after the service from 1972 to 1975, I became a disabled vet. While working at Ford Motor Company on the assembly line one day, I looked up and down the line and said to myself that this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I had come to believe that it is easy to know what it is what we don't want to do. The hardest thing is to know what it is that we do want to do. I became interested in the entertainment business through my mother, who was a hostess at NBC. She was known as Duchess. She also hosted Old Vic. No underground nightclub was the place to be unless the Duchess was there. She was most in demand in the gay circles that was quietly being ushered in Manhattan, New York. She would often head out of town on her arms to attend an event with her white gay male friends, who it wasn't so openly known that they were gay. only to be in the papers the next day as one of the beautiful couples who was there. These men were often directors, producers, artists in the entertainment industry. I remember going to the workshop of one of the creator of the Pillsbury Doughboy. That was exciting. She had another friend who lived on the condo around 71st or 70th on Broadway, who was English. I loved hearing him talk. His name was Terry Lomax. Not sure the spelling. Very short. The first time I visited his home, he had a collage in the hallway, and he called me over to it and pointed and said, "What do you see?" Outside of the obvious pictures looking hard at the collage, I started to see a huge face of a clown who was crying within the collage, and I told him so. He came face to face with me. I can still smell the alcohol on his breath, which is a big part of that scene, and said to me, "You are the first person who ever saw that. You're special. That clown you see is me." Within weeks, Terry had jumped out the window, committing suicide. Now, I have been around death, but no one's death affected me like his did. Because I think up until then, no one in my life ever made me feel good about myself but Terry. I'm going to put a little more in it because it's an interesting journey that I did. It might be a little more that I should put up there as a profile, but I want to, I want to share that. So, about how I got into the industry or what attracted me to it. And there's a few more things that I'm going to say. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to throw this up here today. This is 10 minutes or a few minutes with OG representing Vegas, Ja'net and Chief SGIB magazine. The Stanford Soldiers got intentions to believe that. Because if you haven't got a dream, a goal, an idea, or train of thought, don't worry about it. Just remember to get as much as you can, as fast as you can, and go home. And remember, I will always love you more. Never disrespect the elderly and always pull someone up. And sometimes, you may be the only one who can see your vision. I'll talk to you later. Peace. It would figure my music will cut off. Okay.